Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Struggling? Have you tried using crystals, fondling tarot cards, probing through video after video, trying to learn spells with no luck? What if there was an easier way to improve your life? What if there was an effective way to banish fear? A method to increase your income, a proven system to attract the love life that you deserve. What if Magick was a reliable system where you could save time and get the results you want, all without using wishful thinking? It's time to evolve past the random cute little tips and tricks from the internet. Welcome to the grown-ups table. It's time to learn strategy and science. In this video, I'm going to show you how to move from slow and struggling to quick and successful in your spiritual workings. I'm going to reveal to you the key principle to wielding any source of power that you choose. This is going to be like a roadmap that lets you know you're not wasting your time. So keep watching because you don't want to be the one who misses out on this. Listen closely to this next part. What you're about to hear may be the very words that transport you to the world of your own greatest power. Imagine right now, maybe in an alternate timeline, a perfect series of events. What would it look like if you could live the good life? If you could cast the perfect spell, what would your life look like? If you had no limitations, with no one to judge you, how would you reshape your life? No need to be moralistic. No need to consider anyone else. Just think about yourself right now. What would you do to make yourself happy? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you be doing it with? And how often would you be doing it? What would you create in the perfect life of your design? As you draw a deep breath in and out, you can really take a moment to experience how empowering a day in your best life would feel. Take this image and absorb it in your heart. Keep it there, because you're going to need it for where we're going. Maybe your present is a lot like my past. I spent most of my life socially awkward. I spent a lot of time depressed. Wasted years floating aimlessly from job to job. No matter how much I made, there were always new bills, and I always ended up broke. On top of being broke and barely making it from paycheck to paycheck, I started getting overweight from all the alcohol and junk food I've been putting into my body day after day. To add embarrassing insult to injury, years and years were slipping away with no sex life to speak of. I was unhappy, and I didn't know my purpose in life. Things really felt pointless back then. I felt like my life wasn't going anywhere. But everything changed when I decided to take Magick seriously. No more dabbling, no more cherry picking, no more cute tips and tricks. I had nothing left to lose, so I gave it everything I had. Over the course of 3 to 5 years of working with the Goetia, Hermetics, and the Kabbalah, I've been able to transform my life into one that I'm excited to get out of bed for every day. You see, I did that same imagination exercise each day at noon since I first read Philip Cooper's Basic Magick in 2015. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was tapping into what's known as an etheric pattern, and I was reinforcing it day after day with repetition. Looking back 5 years later, I can see without a doubt that my life has moved into a specific trajectory so that everything that I visualized in this pattern has come to pass. I don't drive a Lamborghini, I don't live in a mansion, and I don't date a supermodel. However, I have absolutely no desire for any of those things. Outlandish car payments, absurd house payments, and high maintenance girls are not my idea of success. I live in a nice house in a quiet neighborhood. I make more money than I've ever made. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm free from having to go to any parasitic 9 to 5. And most importantly, I get to wake up when I want and do exactly what I love. And if you know me, that means hours and hours a day studying the secrets of the universe and practicing them to perfection. Through the strategies that you will learn from me and my channel, you can create the life you envision, regardless of your idea of success. So keep your mind open, because what I'm about to reveal is something only a true master can deliver. And if you apply these occult principles, you too can liberate yourself from the rat race, like many others have throughout the ages. There is an invisible substance that exists in a dimension just beyond the limits of the material realm. Now, this makes perfect logical sense and doesn't take any stretching of the imagination to understand, and I will explain why right now. The way a hermetic Kabbalistic scientist looks at the universe is through the indispensable principle of correspondence. It is said that this principle is one of the most important mental instruments for tearing aside the illusion and penetrating into the highest and most secret realities. The law of correspondence, one of the 7 hermetic principles, states, "As above, so below." There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknowable to us, just as a knowledge of the principles of geometry enable a man to measure distant suns and their movements while seated in his observatory. So a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. This principle of correspondence teaches us that many things may be identical in nature, but different in degree. Now that's extremely important, so please don't forget it. The perfect example of this can be found within your own existence. Right now, you're more than likely holding a phone in your hands. You're definitely gazing deeply into some rectangular electronic device. You're absorbed in an intangible experience through a physical medium. Your body holds the device, but your mind engages with this content. Absorbed, download, syncing. There is hardware and there is software, a physical medium for a digital experience. Just like yourself, you possess a physical body composed of matter, yet your mind experiences your environment. The mind is intangible, software, and operates through a physical medium, hardware, the device and the cloud, the body and the mind, identical in nature, but different in degree. Mind and matter are 2 sides of the same coin, just as the iPhone and OS X, or the Galaxy with an Android. You don't have to understand computer engineering to operate a phone. You don't have to understand physiology to operate your body. And you don't have to be a master of Kabbalah to harness the energy of the universe. You just have to understand how to manipulate this invisible substance. Now, this substance goes by many names across all cultures of the world. Some call it ether of the wise, astral light, akasha, chi, prana, pneuma, the reflecting ether, the deeper subconscious mind, and even melanin. This invisible substance is to be found in what we call the etheric plane. The etheric plane can be compared to the cloud or to the software, while the physical plane can be called the hardware. Aleister Crowley called the spiritual experience of this plane the vision of the machinery of the universe. And what we know is that any magic designed to take effect in the physical world must be done first in the etheric plane. And this is where I come up with the concept of etheric patterns. These are patterns that take place in this etheric plane. Now, magic is the art of being able to perceive and manipulate reality at this subtle etheric level. And a magus is one who is able to discipline the self through occult methods and use his or her abilities to manipulate reality at the etheric level. The material plane is the outward expression of the etheric plane. Therefore, whatever exists on the material plane must first have its existence on the etheric plane. In her book, Mystical Kabbalah, Dion Fortune says this: "Spirit works through mind, and mind works through ether. And the ether, which is the framework of matter and the vehicle of life forces, can be manipulated within the limits of its nature, which are by no means inconsiderable. All miraculous and supernatural happenings, therefore, are brought about by the manipulation of the natural qualities of the ether. And if we understood the nature of the ether, we could understand the rationale of their production." Essentially, the material realm is the realm of effect. The higher realms are the realms of cause. So it stands to reason, in order to make changes in the material realm, we must operate in these higher realms. So the question now is, how do we do that? As Dion Fortune said, spirit works through mind, and mind works through the ether. And the ether, which is the framework of matter and the vehicle of life forces, can be manipulated. So this subtle, invisible substance that we call ether is extremely sensitive to these three things in particular: consciousness, emotion, and raw energy. So this is the true reason for balancing your chakras and learning how to harness your inner powers, or kundalini. This is also why it's so important to neutralize negative mental patterns in your daily thoughts. This is also why it's so important to be mindful of what you put into your body. This includes the types of foods that you eat. This includes the different chemicals that you may be putting into yourself. This even goes as far as to include your sexual partners and the people that you engage your bodily energies with. Creating a clear channel for this energy allows you to manipulate the etheric plane intentionally and with consistency. See, shadow work, meditation, regular study, and practice helps you to attune your hardware so that you can efficiently network your etheric software. So let's go back to the vision that you conjured up earlier in this video. If you've been paying attention, which I know you have, because I only attract intelligent students, you're probably beginning to realize that your imagination is the key to accessing this etheric plane. Now, repetition is one of the key factors in crystallizing this etheric substance. Every time you rehearse data, you strengthen the neural pathways in your brain. Likewise, you want to repeat your visualizations as frequently and as passionately as possible. So, in just a few moments, this video will end. And as you go about the rest of your day, you can enjoy the passionate confidence that comes along with that vision. Every time you hear the term ether or the phrase etheric plane, you can effortlessly recall your vision of your better future. And every time you recall this vision, you can relax deeper, knowing that you can change anything at any time without any pressure. Because simply knowing about the etheric plane puts you comfortably in the driver's seat, guiding the direction of your own life. And that's a good thing. Watch my next video. In it, you're going to learn what to do on the physical plane to easily harness the power of the etheric plane. I'm going to share with you occult principles that other YouTube gurus will not and cannot explain. So you don't want to be the one to miss out on this. I would hate to be one of the fake woke who know the lingo but can't manifest a jar of sea moss. Don't pretend. Do the work. You know how to find me. Just dial LVX777. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you guys. Peace.